enjoy most, I would say, is when you see the satisfaction, the impact that the community gets from your project. When they actually come to you and they tell you, this is what IOM did for me, IOM built for me a shelter.
What is most fulfilling about my job as a humanitarian worker? I think it's probably the ability to make, even if it's just a small change, to affect someone's life directly.
What I enjoy about my work, and especially noting that as our department we work in northern Kenya with the host communities mainly and the pastoralist communities, is the aspect of it's a sure reward and it's an inspiration that you're able to change or transform families.
At least you know that what you did contributed to a change in their life.
And particularly when you're dealing with people who have been displaced.
Looking at people with no means of livelihood and being able to brighten their lives, it's something that is fulfilling in my heart.
I think one of the most challenging things about working in the humanitarian field is that because you're coming in at a time when people are, experiencing the worst thing that they've ever experienced in their lives, which would be displacement, or perhaps they've seen family killed or conflict or whatever the case may be. They're very, they're desperate, and a lot of times they're frustrated with the aid that they're receiving. Perhaps it's not enough, perhaps it's not the right kind of aid.
Sometimes you're not able to differentiate the emotional turmoil that you might have, looking at families that are living in such a vulnerable state or situation. And
reluctance to the community to receiving any kind of aid based on their religion, based on their taboo. They may not be comfortable bringing new ideas to them. For instance, vaccination of livestock. To them, they say they're nomads, they've survived, the animals have survived all these years. What you're bringing to them is going to be more harmful to them.
And I think, as a humanitarian community, we work really hard because we're passionate about helping people. And so we work really hard to try to identify the needs correctly and to meet those needs.
Especially the young children, the young boys who have been born in those areas, and that's the only life they know. They know during dry season they have to pack up and live with their livestock to other places. When there are resources that are scarce, they will see their community members having conflict and violence with other inter-community members, and that's the life they have.
I think there's also, the element of explaining sometimes what the mandate is of an organization, and, to tell, for example, a displaced person, well, we can't help you with that because it's not what we do. Well, that doesn't really matter to them. So I think that can be quite frustrating as well.
That's quite challenging, and knowing there's not much that you can change in that aspect.
But a lot of times it doesn't happen the way that you would like to see it happen. And that can be quite frustrating.
But I think it's a way around it.
Well, since I've started working with IOM, I've been to the field a limited number of times, but recently I got the chance to go to Moyale to do a needs assessment when a lot of people from the Ethiopian side of the border were displaced to Kenya. And meeting with them and talking with them about their concerns was incredibly moving, just to talk to people who had been through a lot, and to then come back here and be able to, based on the information that they gave me, to be able to turn around and then make appeals for funding and to actually secure the things that they are most in need of, which is exactly what we're in the process of doing right now.
Since the time we started working in 2009, specifically in northern Kenya, and I would really point out in Turkana County, the many activities that we have done, both peace building, livelihoods, and safe migration activities. And with all this that we have been unfolding, there are a lot of transformations that have happened both with the local government and the community at large.
One of the best accomplishments, I would say, actually just happened a few months ago. We were going up to Eldoret by road. and we stopped by the roadside to buy vegetables and stuff, and the guys came to sell to us, and they were like, oh, I remember the people who built shelter for us.
And one thing that has stood out for me is the empowerment in livelihood approach or initiative that we took with the fishermen in Lake Turkana, where we supplied them with fish nets, fishing boats and racks, and they were quite empowered with the facilities. With that, we extended to even constructing a fish market in the center of Lodwar and being able to open up for them the market.
And they actually got us to go to where they were. We built them a shelter, we gave them market stalls for income generating activity, and they're like, that market stalls is where they sell their items. And because of that, they mentioned that their kids are now in high school, and through that they're able to educate them.
I think that's been, very, very powerful for me, because it's that connection, I think, between identifying a need and then being able to fulfill that need for people who are in probably one of the worst times of their lives. So, getting to meet that community and then coming back here and being able to help them has been an incredible experience for me.